$31,866.68. That is what it cost me before I even opened my doors. Don't run away. Stick around and let me explain to you what these costs were and how you could do it with a fraction of what I paid. Hi, my name is Mariam, U.S. Army veteran, former Miss Pakistan finalist, and currently own and operate a successful in-home care agency here in California. More than that, I've recovered from dangerous habits and addictions, and I'm currently living the life of my dreams while serving others. And I want the same for you. And if you want the same for you, please stick around and watch my video. Let's be homies. California is the most expensive state, not just to breathe, but especially for businesses. Just to be super clear, the licensing in California cost me $5,603. I needed to have surety bonds, workers' comp, liability insurance. All in all, that cost me $6,000 to $7,000. I just want that to be upfront to let you know that the $31,000, about $6,000 to $7,000 of that was the actual application fee and processing. I have here my breakdown of each year before I opened my business. So the licensing took about a year in total for it to be approved through California Department of Social Services. In 2022 is where I really buckled down and decided that this is what I wanted to do. The licensing fee for California for non-medical in-home care packet as of this recording was $5,603. There was workers' comp, which was $630, the surety bond, which cost me $235, and liability insurance that cost me $513. I did do my LLC through LegalZoom, and that was $79. I had to do a live scan, which is a fingerprint. It's $104. Everything for the licensing packet here in California had to be physically mailed in. So there's FedEx and mailing, which was like $15, $16. So all in all, the licensing packet cost me between $6,000 to $7,000. Also during 2022, I did the logo design and I had an online office assistant and I did a licensing boot camp. Those three things you don't need to do. I did them because at the time I couldn't find a single person or mentor or assistants to do the licensing packet, and it's really tedious and it's a bit overwhelming. So I paid for a licensing work camp with one of my mentors on YouTube that I had found, and it was totally worth the $1,500. I also had an online office assistant, which you probably don't need, but I had so many things going on that was a need for me. And the logo design, I really couldn't market or do anything until my license came back, and I didn't realize that it was gonna take so long, so I did everything around the same time that I was submitting for application. And again, these are the three things you probably don't need. I got my license back in 2023, but it wasn't until August that I got it back. So while I was waiting those 8 months, I got a physical office, I fully furnished it, a business phone line through T-Mobile. I also started looking for website developers. I held off on paper marketing only because I wanted to make sure like the name was correct for my agency, there was no issues with licensing. So I didn't want to print out a ton of flyers and business cards until everything was good to go and my license was actually approved. Also during these 8 months, I got a business consultant. I felt like I didn't know what I was doing in California. I've had businesses in the past in other states, but California being such a heavy compliance and very strict with their labor laws, I wanted to make sure that I had everything buttoned up, and I went to a professional, and I'm so glad I did. He was totally worth the $2,500. And I would do it again. So then I get my license August 2023, and I don't open my doors because I was terrified. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what to expect of my employees. So actually my business consultant suggested that I go to CNA school, or at least a caregiving equivalent. I thought that was genius. It would help me understand what my employees were gonna be doing, and worst case scenario, in the beginning time of my business, I can cover down on shifts if need be for clients while I hire caregivers. All in all, the bulk of my $31,000 startup fee was in 2023 when I did all of this while waiting for my business license. And then after I got my business license, I still didn't open up the doors to my business until January of 2024. So from August until January, I was still paying my monthly dues for the payroll processing company that I had, even though I had 0 employees because I didn't know what I was doing. I paid for WellSky, which is a software that we use for clients, for the clients I didn't have. That procrastination also led me to pay for fees and dues that I wasn't even using. Care Academy, which is the training that I use for my caregivers, that's $200 a month. It was just a lot of money that was being used because I was so nervous to start and I was procrastinating and looking for ways to get started. So the question I'm gonna ask you guys is, which of the two do you think did better? Do you think the people who over-prepared, did all the market research, went to CNA school, hired a business consultant, and then started their agency did well, or the people who kind of flew by the seat of their pants and started when they got their license? I'm an over-preparer, and I feel like that's what helped me catapult my business into the stratosphere when I opened up. I was so prepared for any and everything that was coming at me, and even things that I didn't even see coming. I had the tools to be able to manage and continue on with my business. I guess it's the whole thing with being reactive or proactive. I think being proactive helped me in the sense that I knew what my employees were going to deal with clients. I knew what California, on a very top level, brand new entrepreneur, brand new business owner, was expecting of me operating in California. And then throughout this process of fact-finding and market research, I made a lot of great connections. So if I had an issue I ran into that I didn't know what to do with, I knew who to go to. I knew who to call. I'm done justifying that I'm over-prepared. I'm an over-preparer, and I'm grateful for that. Would I spend $31,866.63 again to do it all? Yes, because I don't know any different. Like, I can't go back in time and change it, right? And that $31,866 that I spent to start my business started in October 2022 all the way through December 2023. So what's that? 14, 15 months? I made that investment 3 times over within the first 120 days of opening my agency. Looking back, yes, I would spend that money again. This week, I hit my first milestone of 100K, and I opened my agency doors less than 120 days ago. I made back threefold my investment into the business. 100% I would do it again. I'm actually kind of embarrassed by this list, not because of the amount of money that I spent, but because how primitive it looks, right? Like, I'm sure there's apps and productivity software that probably would have done a better job at tracking all this. But I do have a Scoop platform where I posted all this information and my year-to-date expenses that I spent on my business. I'll leave the link below. It's a free platform. I host meetings on it every Saturday at 10 a.m. and help anybody who's interested in this industry and how they want to start, or maybe they've already started and they're a little intimidated or they're procrastinating like I did. I genuinely hope that this video helped you. I hope that I brought some form of value or knowledge to you that you were looking for. And if there's anything that I can do to help you out, or if there's advice that you have for me, please comment below. Thank you for staying till the end. That means you love me, and I love ya. Bye.